Welcome to Cord Cutting today for February 20th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story there in the order we talk about them so you can read about them for yourself and let us know what you think. I'll really appreciate it. Now, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Now, there is a lot happening today. Big Viacom news and more. Let's start off with some deals though real quick. The Amazon Fire TV deal, if you're invited to get a $24.99 Fire TV Stick 4K, a really good deal on the Fire TV Stick 4K, is still good and has been extended. Now the tough thing here is you need to be invited. You need to have a special promo code. Now we have the promo code in the link down below in the show notes, but I can't guarantee it will work for everybody. How exactly they're deciding who to offer this promo code to and who not to is unknown to me, and Amazon hasn't answered that question. But if it works for you, you can get a 4K Fire TV Stick for just $24.99. That's cheaper than the Fire TV Stick HD is regularly selling for right now. So check that out, link in the show notes down below. And again, may not work for everybody. All right. Also, the 2018 Roku Ultra, which is the older version of the Roku Ultra, doesn't have the new improved remote, slightly slower than the 2019 version, but not dramatically so, is on sale for just $69.90 brand new. Yes, I have seen comments, wow, on Black Friday, I get it, Black Friday was a better deal, but if you can find a time machine to go back and get it, let me know. Otherwise, this is the best deal I can give you right now. But this is a really great streaming player, especially for under $100, $69.99. Or excuse me, $69.90 for a 4K HDR streaming player, point-and-roll remote, Find My Remote feature, very powerful, great. I don't think you'd be disappointed if you're looking for a cheap, very powerful Roku. All right, so let's get into the news. One of the big things that happened yesterday was the Dish fourth quarter 2019 earnings. During that earnings, the CEO of Dish was asked about the possibility of a Dish DirecTV merger, and in the call he said he felt it was inevitable that the mergers will happen. Well, he didn't say it, but it sounds like his description of everything was very similar to the Sirius XM merger. There wasn't enough customers to justify both Sirius and XM. Neither one wanted to shut down, so it came to the point where it was like, hey, we can't survive with streaming becoming bigger. Of course, traditional terrestrial radio at the time was still very large. Why don't we merge? That's kind of what Dish said. Eventually, not today, but eventually at some point, there won't be enough customers to support both DirecTV and Dish. At some point, we're going to have to merge these two companies into one. Now that raises the question, who would run it? Would it be a spun off into an independent company? Would AT&T run it? Will Dish run it? That's a big question. Now, both AT&T and Dish seem to be trying to move as many of their customers from traditional satellite to streaming, more so on the AT&T side, because the profit margins are better there, especially for new customer acquisition, because they don't have to send a truck to your home, they don't have to put a bunch of equipment in there, and more. Now, I can see AT&T being like, hey, at some point in the future, we've moved as many customers as we possibly can. There's no more customers to move. We're going to do our very best. Now, okay, these people who live in areas which can't get high-speed internet, or maybe people who live in area, or people just in general who don't want a streaming version, we're going to spin them off into another area because it's costing us a lot of money to run these satellites. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. But get me your predictions in. What do you think? Who should run this new company? Would you rather have Dish run it with the merged DirecTV and Dish, or AT&T run it with AT&T looking over the remains of whatever Dish satellite is? How quickly do you think that would happen? I honestly don't think that's going to happen for many years at best, to be honest with you, because there's still a lot of customers there. There's still a lot of time. They're still making money. So I would say 3 to 4 years, maybe at the earliest, before we would see a merger happening. Or even to be proposed and then deal with FCC approval and all that fun stuff. So we'll keep a very close eye on it. Let me know what you think. All right, Viacom is launching a new streaming service. They want to expand on CBS All Access. They want to bring a bunch of Viacom content. Now, the way they talk about is this will be a new streaming service, and it still kind of lines up with what CNBC reported, which would be a free tier based off of Pluto TV and then paid content on top of it. But all Viacom said was sometime this year they'll launch it, soft launch it, and that it would include content from like Nickelodeon and more based off the infrastructure of CBS All Access. We'll have to wait and see. But there is a new streaming service. Sounds like they don't want to be left behind as Peacock and HBO Max and Disney Plus take off. Even though CBS All Access was early, now it's got all the Viacom content. What do you do with that? How do you manage that? And it seems like they really want to make free content a big part of this. So we'll have to keep a close eye on it. Let me know, would you be interested in a Viacom CBS streaming service that has not just Viacom content or not just CBS content, but both in a single spot? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. All right, we're getting a good idea how bad it was last year for traditional cable TV. According to a Variety report, over 6 million customers, pay TV, traditional cable TV customers, canceled their service in 2019. Now Comcast and others are warning that 2020 will be even worse. Will we see 8 million? Will we see 9, 10 million maybe? Not unreasonable, maybe a little aggressive to say 10. I would say maybe 8 million being very reasonable expectation for subscriber losses in 2020. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, but get your predictions in. I want to hear from you. How many subscribers do you think that traditional pay TV will lose in 2020? Do you think they can hold on at this rate? I'd love to hear from you. All right, back to Dish real quick. Dish, during the earnings call, talked about Fox Regional Sports Networks. It was a big deal here that they lost them last year. Some people are blaming that for the reason why Sling TV lost subscribers. Overall, it was a very minor loss, but it's very probable. Dish said they would love to have Fox Regional Sports Networks come back, but it needs to be a good deal. And they even floated the idea that they would want to put the Fox Regional Sports Networks on a tier. So instead of the base package including Fox Regional Sports like you often get with cable TV right now and different streaming services, you would have to agree to maybe their sports add-on, for example, to get the regional sports networks. Their big argument was, why should millions of people who don't watch these networks and don't want these networks have to pay for some of the most expensive networks on TV right now? So I get that. I understand that. It would be interesting. The question now is, will Sinclair ever be interested in a deal like that? Something tells me that Sinclair really is sticking to their guns and wants this in there, in the base package. They've spent reportedly roughly $10 million to buy the Fox Regional Sports Networks from Disney when Disney bought them from Fox. And they need people to be paying money to make that deal worth it. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this, see how it goes. But get your prediction. Would you be willing, let's say they put them in an add-on tier, let's say it was a few bucks more, would you take an add-on for Fox Regional Sports Networks? Or are you somebody who just doesn't care about regional sports networks? I want to hear from you. All right. Back to Viacom. Pluto TV announced that they have 22 million active users. That is a over 75% jump since January of 2019. 75% increase in active users in 1 year is crazy. That's really good traffic there. Congratulations to the Pluto TV team there. I know they've been working very hard on that. But Pluto TV seems to have been becoming a main focus for Viacom. They talked a lot about it. They seem to really be happy with the current success of Pluto TV. Say there's very little headwinds, it's very efficient in how it earns its money, and there's not exactly a lot of cost associated with it, maybe in comparison to running like a traditional CBS like over-the-air network. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. There's still not a lot of CBS content on Pluto TV. Will we soon be seeing a ton of CBS content come flying in to Pluto TV to beef that up even more? We're definitely seeing them put a lot of new content out there, rotating it, trying to bring it to more services and more options out there. I'm very interested in this. Live TV streaming has been big. A few years ago, that was the hottest thing in cord cutting. Now we're seeing free services like Pluto, Stir, IMDb TV, Zumo, and more, the Roku channel, becoming one of the hottest topics in cord cutting right now. If this continues, where does this go? How far do we get this? You know, Redbox just launched a free streaming service that's been rolling out. So let me know what excites you the most. Free streaming services like Pluto, live TV services like YouTube TV. Where's your excitement in cord cutting right now? You know, one thing I found interesting is there's about 35 to 40 million American households have cut the cord and are cable free. Only 8 million of them have subscribed to a live TV streaming service. That means the vast majority of cord cutters are not going to traditional pay TV services. We'll see how that plays out, how that continues. And lastly, real quick, the MLB Spring Games start this weekend. Just put together a great guide, link in the show notes down below, on how to watch the spring training games. Check that out. Link in the show notes below on all the different options to watch spring games. And keep in mind that as the season goes on later, some of the games may appear on major networks out there. But for now, a majority of them are on regional sports networks. So keep that in mind. But full guide if you're looking to watch the spring games. All right, so that's it. Thanks everybody for your great support of Jess. She's going to be back a little bit more doing this, getting the feel for everything, as my job just keeps me busier and busier, as cord cutting keeps exploding. I'm still going to be here a lot. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere right now. I really just though want to say thank you for everybody's support of Jess yesterday. That meant a lot to me. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you all real soon. Take care, everybody.